everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. Today, we in the laundry and shit. We doing it all here today. Give me 1 second. Can y'all hear me? I'm messing with some settings over here. I'm assuming everybody can hear me. All right, so obviously we're gonna have some things to say about the tax loan trial, but I couldn't put all of that in the title. So we have something really big to actually talk about concerning YNW Melly. I guess basically pretty much I'm gonna do a breakdown of how the DA's office in Florida has screwed the pooch. I'm gonna use a couple of examples from other trials that we've actually covered, so you could see why I have the perspective in which I have. And anybody that has any kind of input that you want to put into it, pull up to the chat. We're always ready to have a conversation with somebody that has actual input. Like, we want actual input, fam. There's no, if you're just gonna say the opposite of what I'm saying, there's no reason for us to talk, because I already know what the opposite of what I'm saying is. In any regard, YNW Melly in his particular situation, before we even get into it, the main thing that I want to say is this: if that DA does not lose their job, I can't even understand how that district attorney down there will not lose their job. Like, they need to be fired before the trial is over. And I'm not saying this because I want YNW Melly to go to jail. We never wishing jail and death on people. We're not doing that. Not that type of time over here. But we always need competent people in position. Let's say there's some kind of mass situation where some dude runs up into a mall, spray everything up, and this DA gets on the case, and now all of a sudden the individual's free to go do this shit again. So we need competent people in whatever position that they're playing in. We don't need people that are incompetent. You understand what I'm saying? Just like there's people that we're saying, oh man, free them. There's also people that we are all saying they need to keep them forever. Now, with that being said, I want y'all to understand exactly what happened. I'm going to begin from the beginning. Do y'all remember when she had that lady on the stand and she was trying to get her to admit that she made a police report, and she kept saying that, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember that thing. So therefore it couldn't be brought into the trial. Remember that. The reason why I'm saying remember that is because a lot of the information that we had on why YNW Melly should be found guilty in the court of law is now not going to be allowed into trial. And what she just did right now exacerbates the situation. So basically, they did a test of a particular thing, right? So this is all you need to know. They took a computer program, they did a test for a specific thing. When they did the test for this thing, they did it twice. The first information of the test that they did, they submitted to the courts. It was in the discovery. The second information of the test that they did not put it into discovery. I want to explain something to everybody that don't understand how the judicial system works. While there's an actual trial going on, the prosecution can't be doing all type of different detective work trying to find more evidence. The only evidence that could be allowed into the actual trial is what's in the discovery. So if they have some kind of information or they have evidence or anything like that, and it's not in the discovery, there's parameters that you could take, but this isn't freaking Perry Mason, fam. This isn't, I don't know, name a TV show that does it unrealistic. The prosecution can't just decide because I'm trying to leave something out on purpose so I could explain it in an appropriate context. But the prosecution can't just admit new evidence willy-nilly whenever they feel like this is something that they want to do. That's not fair to the defense team. The defense team needs to know everything that the prosecution is going to bring to court so they can prepare themselves, prepare their defense statements. If they can't prepare their defense, then that means that they haven't, that this court of law isn't giving them, they're not presumed innocent before being found guilty. You understand? If they're not allowed to see the evidence that they're going to be used against them, there's no presumption of innocence. So therefore, the prosecution has to have all the evidence that they plan on using during trial. They have to put that in discovery. They got to give that to the defense team, allowing the defense team opportunity to say that's BS, that's BS, that's BS. You understand what I'm saying? You can't catch somebody at the last minute. This is why I keep trying to tell y'all, y'all be falling out with good people over other people lying. I'm gonna say that again. Y'all be falling out over good people over other people lying. Somebody will lie on a good person and y'all have a whole fallout with them over a lie. Because you're presuming guilt before innocence. With that being said, so this particular information in which they had, there was two pieces of the information. There's when they did the first test, that they did it with one specific type of program, and then there was a second test that they did with a different specific type of program. The first program that they did the test with didn't show, think about, let's say you have a rainbow. The first test only showed 3 colors. The second test showed the entire rainbow. You understand what I'm saying? So that's basically what happened. So when they brought the first test in the court and the defense had a response to the first test, they tried to bring the second test out of nowhere. And I'm going to tell you why I'm assuming that they did this. They probably assumed, since the same individual took the test, see, they was trying to set a trap, basically. They was trying to set a trap. They was trying to get the defense team to say, see, that thing isn't true, so then they could bring out the second test and say, you know, we caught them in a lie. You understand what I'm saying? You got to pay attention to when people try to do things like this. They're not acting honestly. You understand what I'm saying? It's not honest behavior to try to catch somebody in a, you understand? Like, I'm not going to say to try to catch somebody in a halal, but that particular type of behavior isn't honest. So basically what happens is this, and she got chewed out by the judge. So basically what happened was this. When they tried to bring that new information into the trial, it can't go in because it was never in the discovery. And in addition to that, you had this information available to you before the trial started. So since you had this information available to you before the trial started, it should have been in the discovery. This isn't new information that you just coming about. This isn't, we didn't have access to this information previously, Judge. We want to admit it into this trial, so now we want to give it to the defense team so they can look over it and decide what their defense is. This is, y'all had this before the discovery was given in. Y'all decided to not give this particular piece of information into the discovery. So therefore, you're doing something extra right here. This is extra. So now we're not allowing it. What I found interesting was this, and this is what the main thing I want to explain to you. Y'all think that all of these prosecutors is doing underhanded shit. They're not all doing underhanded shit, fam. She's doing underhanded shit. They just happen to be on camera, and this trial just happens to be on internet, live. You think this is the first time she probably attempted these practices? You think that this is the first time she attempted, this particular DA, this particular ADA, you think this is the first time she attempted these tactics? You don't think she probably feels comfortable doing this BS already? I'm pretty sure that there's other information that she also didn't add in that she planned on doing this slick shit with, but now they can't even use it. So I'm saying all that, to say this. Why it's looking good for YNW Melly right now, even though he's sitting in court and he's looking all of the guilty, because he's looking like he got mental health problems. First of all, he's a grown man and he's yawning without covering his mouth, man. I can't even understand that. I saw that happen. I couldn't even understand that. It broke my brain for a couple of moments. I was like, what in the hell, fam? You a whole grown man yawning and not putting your hand over your mouth? Like, my hand starts going over my mouth when I think I'm about to yawn. So he's sitting over there looking wild right now. Like he got no home training. Like he don't, like there was nothing going on in his household. He looking wild right now. Remember, it's them small things that people notice about your children. It's them little tiny small things that people notice when they can tell whether they was some good home training, fam. This dude don't even cover his mouth when he yawn, fam. I don't want to see him sneeze in court. That's going to be terrible.
What do you think? He did it?
I'm on my live right now, and I don't want to say a definitive because I'm doing the journalist thing. Yeah, so there's certain. I appreciate you though. So, salute. Shout out to Vincent McKee. We got 30 people in here right now. Hit that like button. I went live at the wrong time, and we're gonna be real far down in their algorithm because YNW Melly goes live every morning, and I didn't put anybody else's name in the title. All right. With that being said, what's up, Vincent? I haven't seen you in a while. I think I know you. With that being said, so this is what you have to understand. What that officers did, this is the second thing that they did that was wild. I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to force a mistrial right now so they can get this particular ADA off the case and they could get a fresh start. Because at this point, if I think if I'm YNW Melly, I don't take the mistrial, man. Everybody that's trying to hit me on the I am Jack Frost Instagram, I'm blocked out of that Instagram right now. You got to hit me on the BBNNETWORK Instagram. I don't have no access to that Instagram. Y'all keep messaging me over there. I can't get the messages. If anybody's responding back to you, it's not me. With that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if the state is trying to force a mistrial at this point because they've messed up so bad that I'm pretty sure they want a second crack at this with a different lead attorney. I promise you. They've messed up bad, fam. Okay, so I need for y'all to understand this. They're asking for the death penalty. They're not just asking to put this man in jail. They're asking to have this man's life be extinguished off the planet. And you trying to tell me that they don't even have evidence to get just a conviction? So they haven't even placed him at the scene yet. They placed everything at the scene other than him. I'm going to explain something to you. And this is what you have to understand when you're dealing with juries. How trustworthy the jury perceives the attorney to be is often how they're going to go when they decide to say guilty or not guilty. If they don't trust the attorney that's speaking, how could they trust the 50-50 shit? You know how much, it's like, think basketball, right? So we playing basketball. What's really rebounds? Rebounds is 50-50 balls, right? That's really what it is. The ball pops up off the rim. Everybody has the same opportunity to go get the ball free. What's a steal? A steal is basically a 50-50 ball also. One guy's playing defense, or the ball gets free in one way or the another, and you got 2 people or 3 people or 4 people with the same opportunity to get to that ball depending on what the hustle is. That's what the 50-50 is, right? So listen and pay attention. When you're in the court of law and y'all are going up and y'all have a lot of 50-50 opportunities where it's up to the interpretation of the jury to decide how credible this evidence is or isn't, they're going to decide how credible the evidence is or isn't depending on their relationship with that attorney. So now if they're dealing with an attorney that they don't believe to be honest, if they're dealing with an attorney that they don't believe to be trustworthy, that means that there's going to be a lot of 50-50 evidence, a lot of evidence that the jury could perceive one way or the other that's going to end up going to the defense, to whoever the other attorney is. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just trying to have a damn mistrial so they could try to get another shot at it. I don't think his team should try to ask for another mistrial. I think no matter what happened, they should hold the state to whatever the hell and go through with this. Because what's going to happen is the state's going to have to do so much BS that they might not even be able to get a conviction trying to get a mistrial. This is the second attorney that I was the first person that told y'all that this was a bad attorney. This is the second one. The Tory Lanez attorney. I told you that that attorney was bad off the rip, but for anybody else. Now Tory Lanez in his own campus coming out talking about how that attorney was bad. With this attorney, I've been telling y'all this attorney was trash when everybody was giving her the benefit of the doubt. Just so we could be clear. Yeah, what up, J Mac? What's up, shorty? Chillin'. Just so we could be clear. I've been putting y'all on the game about court cases since we've been a thing, fam. It don't matter who you go talk to. It don't matter who you interview with. It don't matter who you have a discussion with. They not Jack Frost. We're gonna have some conversation about tax stone also, obviously. I wish I would have put it in the title. But I think more than anything else, I just wanted to speak law this morning. And I wanted to talk about court. And I wanted to talk about it from a perspective of when you have an actual court case going on. That there is, the prosecution is, doing inappropriate things. Because often y'all think the prosecution is cheating when they not. I gotta say this about Keenan. She wasn't doing any cheating, fam. If Keenan was on that case down there, these guys would have been screwed, fam. If Montgomery Esquire, if he had the opportunity to go against whoever that damn that DA down there in Florida instead of Keenan, Tax Stone would be free today. Today, Tax Stone would be free today. Right now, Tax Stone would be walking free. That attorney is terrible. That attorney is hands down one of the worst attorneys I'm not even covering the case, fam. I'm not in the courtroom. But I could just imagine the other BS that's going on. Well, all right, hold on a minute. Yeah, so I couldn't understand. I think we're gonna dead the live, man. I might come back later. I'm just gonna dead the live. We done. Everybody just have a beautiful day. My laundry's almost done. Maybe we go live after this, but I don't want to yell. And this is just what it is sometimes. That's why we don't do laundry lives no more. Salute everybody. Have a beautiful day. Go out there, do something positive, stamp God's name on it. I love y'all. We may come back, we may not. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification game. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out.